Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for August 10th, 2025, where each week I take a look back at the week in Tabletop RPG News and bring you the highlights. It looks like Free League Publishing is going to publish Twilight Sword, which looks to be an RPG inspired by video games, especially such as Legend of Zelda series and Ni no Kuni, and similar ones. This can be seen in evidence just by the art style alone, so we'll see how that goes. Onwards towards minor and PDF releases. Even More Magic for Pathfinder 2nd Edition details a number of classes and new mechanics associated with the Magic Plus offering available separately. Grimm Press has some entries into their Cavern Crawl series of 5th Edition dungeon crawls. There's number 87, Scales and Sand, number 88, Mirage Bloom, and number 89, Cinder Throne. They also have Unearthed Spoils, number 36, Parched Perils, which offers player and GM options as well as an adventure, this time focused around desert and wasteland themes. Mammoth Factory has a few offerings for 5th edition as well. There's Cliffs of Drakenfall, Farland's Region Guide, which details that region as well as items and monsters therein. And then there's a Elysian Odyssey, a 5th edition adventure, 6th or 7th of the 7 one-shots in the Fateless fairy tale setting. The Grand Carnival is a circus-themed offering for 5th edition. It offers various subclasses, backgrounds, feats, spells, magic items, and so on, all around a circus. A tome of set items for 5th edition is exactly what it says, a collection of magic items that grow stronger as they're used in complete sets. Cave Critters Bestiary is a collection of underground-focused creatures for 5th edition, designed as an add-on to the separately available Woodland Harvest Bestiary and its associated rules. Then, Korean Folklore Bestiary is a monster manual for 5th edition based on Korean folklore, another in a series based on various regional folklore around the world. Ultra Modern Bestiary for 5th edition is a large collection of sci-fi, horror, and modern creatures for 5th edition, collected from various offerings from Deus Ex Machina releases from their various offerings before, with over 440 creatures included, including such things as robots and such. Elven Tower has Dungeon Vault Magazine number 60, which offers material for both 5th edition and Shadow Dark RPG, including adventure material. Arkham Dark version 1.7 is a Shadow Dark based RPG with mythos stylings set in the 1920s, including various professions, new systems including a sanity system and Lovecraftian magic, and so on. Glaus Shine is a old school essentials compatible offering that concludes the first arc of the Brownhaven campaign setting and covers the capital, I believe. The Scarlet Citadel is a sword and sorcery dungeon crawl adventure inspired by the Robert E. Howard story, detailing the dungeon citadel of a deranged sorcerer. Malador Witches Academy is an OSR offering that details the region around the Malador Witches Academy, including a hex crawl, various dungeons, new foes and treasures, classes, and more, including various coven-based things, because it is, of course, a Witches Academy. Moss, Stone, and Steel has a core rulebook out and is a dark fantasy low magic system using a 2d12 resolution mechanic. Grim Dungeons and Ancient Lore is another system core rulebook, this time a solo fantasy dungeon crawling game including procedurally generated dungeons. Legend of the Five Rings, Children of the Five Winds details the families of the Unicorn Clan for the Legends of the Five Rings system and includes new schools and heritages, techniques, titles, equipment, and so on. Book of Trauma is a third-party offering for Mage of the Ascension that details various tragic backstories that can be used for various characters or NPCs, especially NPCs. The Ballad of Lost Danava is a single scenario module for the Call of Cthulhu system, this one detailing a far future where the crew of an exploration ship is near a forbidden planet where radio signals demand an investigation. Then there's Curse of the Miser's Bounty, another Call of Cthulhu scenario, this time set during the Golden Age of Piracy and deals with a cursed treasure. Titans of Fallen Earth is a Kaiju vs. Mecha style tabletop RPG where you outfit your giant robots to face off against giant monsters using a D6 based system. Gunslinger Knights from Monte Cook Games is a Cypher system based offering that details various motorcycle riding knights facing off against otherworldly horrors in an area where there's gaps between worlds. Shadowrun Missions Bootleg Bliss is a mission for Shadowrun's Sixth World where various criminal syndicates are at war and a drug manufacturer has found himself in the middle of a 4-way gang war. Finally, there's Armies of the Fifth Frontier War for Traveler, which details the various organizations, equipment, and so forth for the major factions during that aforementioned Fifth Frontier War combat. And with that, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. And we'll start with The Festering Earth, a sequel to The Echoes of Heaven for 5th edition. It deals with trying to stop a serial killer within the streets of Felrix Redoubt. Brass Reach will be a clockwork campaign setting for 5th edition, detailing a floating city along with new character options to play within it. Side Quests has Tavern Tales, which will be a collection of a dozen easy one-shot adventures designed to get characters out of a tavern and, into an adventure. Rise of the Children of Anubis will collect material based on the real-world Egyptian Book of the Dead for 5th edition. Twisted Tales looks to be a 5th edition supplement for dark fairy tales, including cursed magic, monsters, and more. Nocturne Realms Civil War will be the second part of the Nocturne trilogy for 5th edition, a steampunk set of material and adventure arc. The Lost Codex of Da Vinci will be a 5th edition adventure set during the Italian Renaissance, including various dark secrets and a focus on intrigue. Then there's Ebb and Ori's Codex of the Undersea, which will be a 5th edition supplement that deals with various aquatic adventuring, especially below the sea, including new races, feats, items, spells, subclasses, and GM-based material. Absurd Abominations is looking to be a collection of over 100 complex monsters for 5th edition meant to be unique and weird. Biomes and Maxur Volcanoes will offer various 5th edition based resources for running volcanic adventures, part of their Biome series. Witch Lords of Skull Mountain No. 2 will be Sword and Sorcery Hexcrawl Zine for Shadowdark DCC RPG and other OSR systems. Dinosaur Time Slip 1988 will be a level 0 adventure for Dungeon Call Classics RPG that is themed around a dinosaur apocalypse set in New Jersey during the 1980s. I can't imagine but think that dinosaurs would be like the least of your worries if you're in New Jersey during the 1980s. Dragonbane The Bloodwood looks to introduce a cursed forest-themed adventure for a Dragonbane system, of course. Mecha vs. Kaiju 2020X, or 2002X, is looking to be another anime-style giant robot and monster fighting tabletop RPG. This one with a more narrative focus, though theoretically backward compatible with 5th edition. A lot of these out now. These themes tend to go in cycles, don't they? Shadows Over Soul 2nd edition is looking to fund a 2nd edition of the sci-fi horror tabletop RPG where you explore derelict ships, make deals with shady corporations, and otherwise try to survive a hostile universe. Feet First into Hell 2nd edition looks to be a rules-light sci-fi skirmish RPG hybrid where you play drop teams set as shock troops on various battlefields across the universe. I believe it's based on Helldivers. I'm not 100% though. And finally, there's Instruments of Darkness, which will be a mothership RPG adventure where you are transporting an officer to a mining facility when a collision during docking brings all kinds of secrets to light. And on that note, I am going to wrap things up here. Sorry for the lack of the thumbnails again. I am just running so short of things. I'm going to try and get something besides these news roundups in this next week. I can't guarantee anything, but I am seriously going to try. So my schedule's been all over the place lately. Anyway, links will be below. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment, got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, and hopefully not just until the next, the next RPG news roundup. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.